When a spermatozoa enters the egg, a breathtaking flash of light occurs exactly at the moment this new life begins.
You want to know why I find this to be extremely interesting? Because two different reasons. First reason being, anybody that knows about energy or knows about light, light is usually it's like it's basically like the residue of whatever energy is being done. Like fire's not real, that's why fire's not in the universe, or like that's why, except for on Earth, because it needs oxygen to constantly fuel it, because it's just gas being heated up to the point that you can see the radiation off of it, which looks like flames to us, but other animals technically can't see fire. And like magma would be like what the sun is made out of, and electricity is a byproduct of electricity. Like, well, lightning is a byproduct of electricity. Now, for this to produce light just from a sperm cell entering, it would mean that something sparked it. And I would think that it would be the spark of life, maybe a soul. It would make more sense. They tried to say that it would be zinc, but zinc is not a reactive chemical. Like, it doesn't, zinc by itself isn't going to create light from without any spark or nothing that would, there's nothing that can do that. It's something happening with the molecular bond. And at the moment of conception, the exact second that you're conceived, the human body, well, the genetic makeup of the human body is already in there. And they can even test how strong the child's gonna be by how bright that light is, which is also a really creepy fact. That makes you think that life is literally coded into your body. Well, it proves that life is coded into your body as soon as you exist, right? As soon as you choose to be here, you're here, and you fought millions of other people, to the point that the egg literally wraps itself in a hard, like the way I like to look at it, I don't know if people watch Full Metal Alchemist, but you remember that guy that could make the outside of his skin turn to carbon? I think that was pride. So, no, it wasn't pride. That was greed. Yeah, my God. So greed, it's almost like having that, because no other sperm cells can enter inside the body after that point. All this is being said because they will try to make you believe that religion is not real or God is not real because of science. But science has only proven that God is more real, more than anything. That even this, because I think about this a lot. The fact that only on Earth do we have fire. Only on Earth. No other place in the universe have we found fire, because you need organic material to be burned for fire to actually persist. Fire only burns off of things that is organic. So in the beginning of the earth, there was no fire until we had microorganisms. The microorganisms that we ended up having, they didn't even have microorganisms to kill them, so nothing could decompose. So the things that we touch right now, like coal, are fossil fuels. Coal, gasoline, propane, all of these are dead creatures from a long time ago that ended up crystallizing and becoming a fuel source. So because of photosynthesis, anything that's usually on Earth, except for some Caucasian people, no offense, are able to photosynthesize. And I think like polar bears, but anything that can't photosynthesize usually burns in the sun. But all plants and pretty much anything photosynthesize. So like even us by nature, we're like, me being a black man or anybody of color, you're trapping in so much of the sun's energy inside of your body that gets stored, that when you die, the ashes that people have, that stuff is really combustible. It's extremely combustible. Well, not if you burn them, but if you let a person actually just disintegrate inside of their tomb or inside of a coffin, the gases that are left in that inside of their body becomes extremely flammable, toxic. But imagine if you encapsulate them over a long time. So because we're having all of these massive amounts of human populations, and people are dying in these unmarked graves at cemeteries, think about how much fuel that we're going to be able to give to whatever civilization or the future civilizations if they're still using raw gas. Like we're literally one of the biggest creatures that are putting themselves in conditions that are perfect for you to be mummified. Yeah, it's strange that we live in a world that is literally on fire. Decay is fire. It's just you can't see it because it's not at a high rate. That's the reason why everything on earth decays. That's the reason why anything will start to slowly decay. If you look at decay and you look at a flame, they all go back to the same levels. They become white, usually phosphorus or sulfur. Usually it releases the minerals, so then that's why the Native Americans and things like that used to burn their land and then regrow on top of it, because it would release the nutrients from them. It's breaking down things to their most basic chemical natures whenever you add fire to anything. What I'm saying is, are we living in hell? The reason I would say that, are we living in hell? Because we live in a constant state of fire that nobody else has known or can see. And fire only works on the surface, not in the inside of the earth. Everything is very odd. I find that to be odd. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, man.
Video is under a special microscope. It's an egg and showing the moment of conception. The moment the sperm enters the egg, there is now documented source of light that enters the egg. The moment of conception.
Let me show you something that makes me think that the Antichrist is real. So you see how that light persists whenever a actual child is born from from conception, from a male and a woman having intercourse. Now, I'm going to show you a video of when they do in vitro, or they do any of these where they get one sperm and they put it in the egg with a needle. There is no light. There is no light. That would be a soulless being. That would be a being that was, and do you know what's crazy? People don't talk about this. Do you know since 1980 that I believe they said like 30,000 people almost a year get born through science? like there's a lot of soulless people out here and we don't understand. And I think that that has something to do with a lot of these mass and stuff like that that's going on. I think a lot of that stuff is these people are being engineered, kind of like the same way that Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer all were in CIA programs. So now, if you know, they can create a person, they can use cells, they have stem cell research to make you stronger, faster, heal anything that's wrong with you. They have constant propaganda that's get promoted on every single source that we have, and this has been going for years. They have face swapping technology. They're growing pigs with human DNA in them so then they can use their organs. They have photo printed people, photo printed organs. They have, they did the false cloning. I think they did the first cloning in Asia in like 2010. I'm pretty sure it was like when I was really young. I remember they said they made their first set of two twin clones in China. I need to probably put that down. This is exactly what you just seen. The fertilized egg.